one thing I've noticed and have heard from other educators that have visited me here, stayed with me here, is there's a high concentration of organizations that are focused around this type of work in one city. There's a lot of cultural institutions, environmental ed institutions here, all in one city, which is pretty unique in a way, especially educators like in California that I'm very familiar with, that they say their resources are more spread out. There's not as much of a unity and a vision or programming ideas. So I think that's a big strength of Salt Lake City specifically. One of the things I think that could be improved upon with that is not only access for the groups we've been talking about today, but I think a lot of rural Utah gets excluded in a lot of programming we talk about. And again, it's important to remember, like, these are also people who are participating. They are probably going to vote in a lot of things that matter to us as well. Thinking about programming that reaches out to all of these different places, how we can include them and still maintain the vision of what we have for accessibility and those same barriers, but thinking about it in rural settings. It's not as addressed in my view.
I've taken away so many amazing nuggets on just like making sure people have materials and jackets and gear and paradigm shift, ensuring that you can diversify your staff. Just you all have contributed to the conversation. You all have given us so many nuggets to take away. I heard one more, and I like to do what I say. So if there was that one more person who has a question, we're right about the time we can take one more if only one panelist responds. And so is there one question, Bernie, in the audience? All right, going once. It was a treat to facilitate this conversation with you all. Thank you all for coming and just bringing your perspective, your questions, your energy to the conversation. We're going to close with a thank you for our panelists. And would you be able to go and grab it, or
yeah, let me grab
right there? Yeah.
We got your gifts. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I'm gonna
pass it off to Matthew and Andy.
Great. So just give us a minute to switch up to a Zoom presentation next. So just give us like 5 minutes and we'll get that all set up. Right. All right, everybody. We're going to get started with our next presentation. So start wrapping up your conversations. Find a chair. Doesn't have to be your chair. Our next speaker is here on the Zoom. Russ Volmert is going to speak about natural environments, the unstructured play experience, and forest park. Russ is a proud graduate of the College of Architecture and Design at Kansas State University. Mr. Volmert has over 33 years of experience in planning and design of parks, plazas, and public spaces. A registered landscape architect and urban planner, Russ has developed community and park master plans, as well as the final designs of numerous public spaces across the Midwest, including Silver Moon Plaza in Missouri, the Animals Always Plaza at the St. Louis Zoo, River de Perez Greenway, Sioux Passage Park, and Bromel's Seg Park. Russ, you're gonna have to like pronounce these all correctly for me later. I'm sorry if I said that. In the St. Louis area, along with the monumental entrance amphitheater of the Gateway Arch National Park in St. Louis. He currently serves as the capital project manager at Forest Park Forever in St. Louis. He has led the construction of the nature playscape and designed the Oakland Avenue playground renovation projects in Forest Park. Each project emphasizes natural play elements for the user experience. Russ is a member of the American Society of Landscape Architects and the American Institute of Certified Planners. He teaches a course in site design at the Missouri Botanic Garden and is a member of the board of directors for Missouri Main Street Connection. So perfect, like after this morning talking about risky nature play, and then today about different perspectives on nature play and inclusion, and then to talk about now, Russ is gonna talk about some of the things that have actually been built, giving a little bit more of the like building nature play part of it. So round of applause for Russ. We'll let it kick off.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes? Perfect. Okay, and thanks for that introduction, Tim. I have to give you a lesson in Midwest English. It's Volmert, which is more of the German, not Volmert, French. And then rivet pear is French, but that's okay. Well, good afternoon to everyone. I hope you're having a good symposium out in Salt Lake. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about some of the recent projects we've done in the park and share some of the lessons that we've learned when it comes to natural play environments, especially when it comes to children and for families, right? And so I guess you'll just be running it there, and I'll just request to advance, but if you want to go ahead to the next page, please. And there's our agenda. And basically, we're going to be focusing a little bit on introduction of Forest Park, just so you kind of have an understanding of the scenario and the operations of the park. Then we'll get into a little bit about nature deficit disorder. I'm sure a number of you are familiar with that issue here in America. And then really kind of get down to the two projects that we built in the park, and ones we're very, very, very proud of, and that's the Albrecht Nature Playscape, which is the big one that we've received quite a bit of notoriety for. And then really a spinoff of that project, a very good spinoff, Oakland Avenue Playground, which is the renovation of an existing playground in the park. And then talk a little bit about, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the lessons that we've learned over the past 3 years with these two projects. So just a little bit about Forest Park, so we have an understanding. If you want to go ahead to the next slide. And Forest Park is a city park, and it is about 1,300 acres, so it's slightly larger than Central Park in New York City, if that gives you a reference. It's an urban park, right? It's in the heart of St. Louis. This image here, you'll see, you're looking to the east, you can see the park, obviously, the building kind of right in the middle with the red terracotta roof, that's the World's Fair Pavilion. The open space directly behind that is the Playscape, which is 17 acres. And then if you just look to the horizon, if you will, you'll see the WashU Med Center complex on the east side of the park, St. Louis University, and then downtown in the background, you can faintly make out the arch, which is obviously the icon of St. Louis, kind of on the upper right-hand edge of the page there. So next slide, this shows kind of the park in reference to the greater St. Louis area. It really is in the middle of the St. Louis metro area, which is a population of about 3 million. It's obviously bifurcated by the Mississippi River, which is how the city was founded back in 1764. And so you can see the park there in the middle, the green space with the tack. Just for reference, I've kind of called out some major geographical milestones or areas of you can see the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers up there. I'll let you guess which one is the Missouri, nicknamed the Big Money, the airport, the arch, and then the botanical garden. So while most of the population is on the Missouri side, there's a fair amount on the Illinois side as well, and it all comprises the metro area. So because of that, we really are central. The park is really kind of the main open space for the region. It's home to a number of our institutions, as you'll see, and it really does benefit the operations of Forest Park forever. I think one of the facts is because it is so accessible.